Let's see. Sharon Williams. Okay, I've got Angel in the waiting room, but not my presenter. Right, I'm looking for Sharon Williams. That's it.
Hello there. Hi, Pete.
Hi, Angel. I'm still waiting for Sharon to show up in the.
Yeah, I asked her to come in. I wasn't quite sure. I was emailing Nadia and so trying to say we need to get in early. So I don't know if Mike was able to share with you the PowerPoint for Sharon Williams.
Yes, I have it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, great. And she was just really concerned that she didn't want her notes to be shown.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, and they won't be. They won't be
great.
on the presentation.
Yeah, I think she's going to, I told her that the PowerPoint would be up on the screen from you guys or me sharing. So that would be you, and that she can read her screen. Or
with her notes.
Right, yeah, with her notes in it. So
let's see.
Trying to think who else might be in that session.
There's Sharon. I'm going to let her in.
Yep. And then she can let us know if who else is going to be part of her.
Correct.
So we can,
and I can advance the slides for her. That's not a big deal. Angel, can you hear me? Or no, Angel, Sharon, you're in. Oh no, she's connecting to audio. There we go.
She's connecting. Yeah, she's trying to connect. Yep. And I guess, hi Sharon. Can you unmute yourself?
Can you see me?
I can't see you. I can barely hear you though.
Oh, there we go. Now we can see you, Sharon.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You're quiet. If you can turn up, let's see.
How do I turn it up?
Yeah, I'm looking to see if I can do it for you.
Wonderful.
It looks like your laptop is facing a little bit high, Sharon. I want to move it down so it shows your whole face.
Yeah, we're just getting your nose and eyes at this point.
Okay, how about this?
That's better.
Oh, there you go. Great. So I think we'll just take a couple of minutes to have Pete pull up your PowerPoint slide for you. Okay. Just show you what it's going to look like.
I couldn't put it up here?
No, Pete's going to do it for you. Oh. And then when you want him to advance the slides, see, we didn't want her notes, so we'll just put that in start. There you go. Yep. See how that looks here?
I wanted my notes. I had my personal notes. I can't use my personal notes?
Oh, no, you can use your notes. Absolutely. I'll just show the slides up here on the screen for you. We're just not showing. You'll notice that. Hold on, I got to pull a menu bar out of the way.
I will not see my personal notes, right?
No, you see the screen now?
So here's when I share the presentation and see your notes are down here, but as soon as I hit play on this, your notes go away and they won't be seen on the screen.
I could have sent you a plain one. I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. This is not a big deal. And then
as long as you can see your notes, are you able to see your notes, Sharon?
I'm checking. This makes me a little nervous. I got to tell you that, but I'll be like.
Well, I got your back, Sharon. Don't worry.
Okay, some words like my tongue get da 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 when you get nervous.
Right.
Okay, I have my notes. Can you guys still can see me?
Yeah.
And you can't see my notes.
Can't see your notes.
Wonderful. Okay.
And then you can see, you just let me know when you want me to advance the slide, and I can advance the slides.
Don't
And I
worry about
even-
don't worry about advancing the slides. I'm just gonna read the notes and I'm gonna go next, please.
Perfect.
Okay, but I don't know when you will finish the can you tell me when I say play video, please? Could you let me know when the video finished? Because I you know, I wouldn't know that.
You should, and so here I've got the slide up. I was just gonna, whoops. I wanted to play from that slide. Let me just show you what it's gonna look like when we play that video.
I can't
Here it
see you
is.
because I'm looking at my notes.
Right. Play from current slide. So here's the video that we'll show, and then we should be able to, I'll hit play.
For years, Red Lake Nation has had
Oh, yes, I
discussions
can
about
hear
the
you.
need for a
Good.
new grocery store on the reservation. Now they not only have a grocery store.
There we go. So you'll be at least be able to hear it.
But
And,
I apologize to you all. I should have just deleted my notes off of there. It was just personal.
It's no big deal, Sharon. No worries. It's a typical way to go. So we got your back on that. Let's see. I need to
Thank
get
you.
out of
Thank
here.
Do you guys need to coordinate the slide number? What are you seeing on your screen, Sharon? Are you seeing what
I
you're
see
sharing, or are you seeing yours?
I just see my slides, and all I'm going to do is say next, please. Is it okay for me to say next, please, when I, done?
Yeah, that'll work just fine.
Okay.
Because you can minimize your PowerPoint on your slide.
Actually.
So you can-
Okay. Yeah, my PowerPoint is minimized. And I do have my notes, which is largely under the PowerPoint.
Okay, I was just thinking maybe you could have it up and just smaller than the Zoom meeting screen. That way you can,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Just have it open. That way you're reading it and you're both on the same page of the slides, because your slides are numbered as well. So you just want to,
yeah.
you're
So
talking.
Well, when I'm done, because I needed to see this big version print, I'm sorry about that. I have glaucoma and I have to see the big version of the print. And when I'm done, that's why I said, Linda said, when I'm done, I could say next, please.
Okay,
Is that okay?
That'll work.
Okay.
And then do we have a room facilitator at all?
Yes, we have facilitator, which is Gerald. I think he's gonna be talking before me.
Gerald Shanklin.
Yes, and the
Okay.
moderator is Whitney Marshland.
Whitney Marshland. Okay, so I'm going to let them in right now before.
Oh, wonderful.
Whitney.
So I think
And-
Gerald's gonna pass it to me. I hope when it's time to talk, because Gerald's gonna talk and then he's gonna pass it over to me.
Gotcha.
Could you make sure Gerald passes it to me?
Yes, I will.
Okay. He had to say so. No, he had to say Sharon or something like that.
Okay.
yeah, he's connecting right now. So he's trying to
Yes.
connect.
And Whitney, we have you in. Hello. You can hear everybody fine?
Yes.
Good. And you're going to be the facilitator. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I'll be sharing the PowerPoint on my screen and also monitoring the chat box.
Okay. I'm prepared to share the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've got that all queued up and ready to go. So I can do the PowerPoint if you want to monitor the chat.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And then
Or
you
Gerald
have
can do that.
Oh
you
yeah.
have the version, like the latest version that we sent. We uploaded it, but I also sent it via email just to make sure that we had it. There's 2 video links in it.
Okay. I see one video on slide 13. And I'm looking to see, is there another? I don't see another video.
The second one is in, they're both
It's
in,
on 9. You see one on slide 9?
there's 2 pictures side by side.
Oh, yes, you are right.
One's a
That,
video.
I see one of them is a video.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just be prepared to monitor the chat and send the link and everything. Thank you.
So,
Good.
my
Okay,
question
perfect.
is that, I'm sorry. My question is that slide 9?
Yes, that is correct. That was slide 9. Mhm.
Thank you. I just want, yeah, thank
And-
you.
And Gerald, you're going to go first. Is that correct?
That's correct. How do I sound? The sound okay?
Yeah, you
Perfect.
sound great. Yep.
All right. I asked that because the person ahead of me had to call in. I don't have a headset, and I didn't know what to expect.
No, it
Oh,
sounds
yeah,
good,
no.
Gerald. You're good.
Yeah, you
So
start
I thought
good.
you were just gonna have to sit there and look handsome.
Oh,
I love you, Angel.
Well, he's doing that well, I can say.
Angel,
Yes.
what do I expect? I got it
Gerald,
on my side.
Gerald, I
Right.
can't see you. Gerald.
We've known each other for a long time, so it's all good.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay,
Yes.
I can't see you, so because I'm reading my screen, but they are the ones that doing the PowerPoint. So if you can say Sharon like that, so I can know to read,
Okay.
Which slides are you presenting, Gerald? That might help me a little bit.
I'm not presenting any slides. That's Sharon's. She's the presenter. I'm just introducing her, and I'm the facilitator.
Gotcha. Okay,
So the roles are
Awesome.
covered. So that's awesome. Thank
that
you.
is great. And we're straight up at 1:30. So you guys let me know. I'm ready. I can admit folks when we're ready. We have 23 participants right now in the waiting room.
Great.
So when you guys are ready, I can introduce you, Gerald, and then you can take it away and introduce Sharon. Does that
All
sound
I would
good?
let him in. I would just go ahead and let him in. People-
Here they come.
All righty. Thank you.
All righty, I think we have everybody in. Welcome, everyone. My name is Pete, and I'm going to be the moderator for today. And I'm just going to turn it right over to Gerald, who's our facilitator, and we'll go through some things with you and then introduce our presenter. So you are on, Gerald.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. Just welcome to this Advancing Travel Economic Mobility through Rural Community Development, or RCD as we call it, and Community Economic Development, or CD as we call it, workshop. So my name is Gerald Shanklin. I'm a program specialist with the Office of Community Services in the Administration of Children and Families, and I'm excited to be here with you. I've seen that you've had a number of great workshops this week, this 3-day conference. So it's been exciting just to see all of that. Some of you may have heard Janelle George, the OCS Deputy Director, earlier today give a brief summary of the RCD and CD program. But we have an opportunity this evening to, in this workshop, to give you more details in hopes that you or your community partners will want to take advantage of these programs as soon as possible. Sometimes I'm hearing from constituents to say this program is sort of a well-kept secret. And I say, well, if you had a good fishing hole, would you share it? So we want to make sure that we can get out of this workshop, maybe get you guys interested in applying. But I'm joined today by two of my colleagues, Sharon Williams and Whitney Marshland. As you know, Sharon will be our main presenter today, and I will serve as the workshop facilitator. Whitney will be our room monitor / support person to help us with the execution of today's program. And so before I introduce Sharon to you, here's Whitney to go over a few items to get us started. Whitney?
Hi, everyone. My name is Whitney Marsland, and like Gerald, I will be the room monitor for this workshop. So I'm going to be sharing some quick housekeeping items before I turn it over to Sharon today. So first, if you have any questions during the presentation, please submit them in the chat box. I will monitor and record these for the Q&A session. If you have questions during the Q&A portion of this session, please raise your hand, your Zoom hand located on the bottom of your screen, or you can submit your questions in the chat box, and we'll try to get to as many questions as possible. I'm going to be providing a survey link for this workshop in the chat box shortly that we would really appreciate capturing your feedback and thoughts on this session, which you can do by taking a survey after this workshop. I'll provide it now. And again, I will provide that link again at the end of the session. The survey link can also be found on the live agenda on the ACF IPC website, along with this session's presentation handouts. finally, as a quick reminder, all workshop sessions are being recorded for on-demand viewing via the 2022 ACF IPC website until April 25th. So you can visit the live agenda page if you would like to view any of these recordings after the conference. So now I will turn it back to Gerald to introduce today's presenter.
Thank you, Whitney. Sharon Williams is a program specialist in the Office of Community Services within the Administration of Children and Families. And Sharon has worked with the Department of Health and Human Services for over a decade. She has more than 20 years of agency experience, to include program experience with the Job Opportunities with Low-Income Individuals program. Some of you may remember that, may know it as the Jolly program, and the Community Economic Development programs. But throughout Sharon's tenure with the federal government, she served as a program specialist for the Low Income Energy Assistance Program. Some of you know it as LAHEAP, and as a federal project officer for the LAHEAP clearinghouse that provides information on LAHEAP programs. Additionally, Sharon has served as a federal representative for the Low Income Housing Energy Consortium, and she has also served in leadership positions as a specialist within the Office of Family Assistance. Some of you may know it as OFA, and the Office of Administration. So let me introduce to some and present to others Ms. Sharon Williams. Sharon.
Thank you, Gerald. Good afternoon. On behalf of our Office Director, Dr. Howard, I thank you for the invitation to engage in discussion that considers strategic ways of advancing tribal economic development. I am Sharon Williams, Program Specialist with lead responsibility representing the program in the Division of Community and Discretionary and Demonstration Programs that are the CED, Community Economic Development, and RCD, Rural Community Development Program. The RCD and CED program aligns particularly well with the Tribal Advisory Council priorities of economic mobility. Both programs are grounded in the assumption and can contribute to the improvement of economic sustainability in communities that are high in unemployment and poverty rates. You will learn how these programs help increase economic mobility and potential opportunities for tribal organizations to benefit from these programs. Next, please. Our overview will include OCF major goals and what we do. What is RCD? How does RCD increase economic mobility? What is CED? Who's eligible for CED funding? 2 funding opportunities in fiscal year 2022 and prospective applicant resources. Next, please. The OCS, Office of Community Services, major goals are that our program serves the economic and social needs of individuals and families with low incomes. It provides employment and entrepreneurial opportunities, promote individual economic opportunity and security through the creation of full-time permanent jobs, as assets building strategies for individuals and families with low income, such as savings, increasing financial capability, and for securing assets. Assist Community Development Corporation in utilizing existing funding for neighborhood revitalization projects. Provide financial and technical resources to state and local and public and private agencies for economic development and related social service activities, and provide energy assistance to households with low incomes. Next, please. What we do in OCS? We are partners with states, territories, tribes, and community level agencies to reduce cause of poverty. We increase opportunity and economic security of individuals and families, as well as revitalize communities. Our social and community development programs work in a variety of ways to improve the lives of individuals living in low-income communities, especially communities of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Next, please. Now let's talk about what we do in RCD, the Rural Community Development Program. RCD is the compatible grant program that assists small rural communities with low income in developing and maintaining affordable and safe water and wastewater treatment facility. Next, please. RCD is the only federal program that builds community capacity for creating and maintaining safe and affordable water and wastewater systems for the nation's unincorporated areas and lowest income communities, including the tribal and persistent poverty areas. RCD is unique. It serves the smallest rural communities that are not served by others. It is different from EPA and USDA programs, which tend to support existing systems. In this way, it serves the truly undeserved. While grant funds cannot fund the actual construction of water and waste infrastructure, they can be used to develop the organizational and financial system needed to attract additional funding. In this way, the program can be thought of as the grout that brings the bricks together. Next, please. I'm coming. Just lost my dad. All right. Okay. In fiscal year 2020, the last round of RCD grants was awarded, and the competition resulted with 8 awards, 6 regional organizations, and 2 tribal organizations that specifically supported Native communities, such as the Intertribal Council of Arizona and United South and Eastern Tribes, primarily serving the Eastern U.S. RCD awards 5-year grants, and all grants receive the same level of funding annually. Next, please. How does RCD program help increase economic mobility? Well, without clean water, safe disposal of wastewater, communities are in danger of health and safety challenges that inhibit business development. RCD program increases economic opportunity for rural communities that are low income by ensuring that the rural communities have basic water and sanitation, providing technical assistance to help rural communities access additional public and private resource for a water system, promoting to improve coordination of federal, state, and local agencies in providing safe and affordable water options, providing training to operators that support local tribal sovereignty in providing safe and clean water to tribal communities, and aiding and accessing financing for new and improved systems that benefit rural communities with low income. Next, please. In 2021, OCS released 4 videos highlighting training and technical assistance activities completed with RCD grant funding. This includes 1 video that specifically focuses on RCD efforts in tribal community. The video is titled Training Certification for the Colorado River Indian Tribes to Ensure Health of the River, showcases the notion of the Colorado River Indian tribes that are located along the Colorado River, the Arizona-Colorado state border. The health of the people depends on the health of the river. The video describes how the Intertribal Council of Arizona organization helped the Grit tribes to establish a water system on the reservation and implement the tribal operator training and certificate program, which uniquely meets the tribe's needs for long-term development opportunities in water and wastewater field. Please play the video. Thank you.
Our elders have told us to take care of the land and the water because it's life. Colorado River Indian Tribes is very unique in that it has 4 tribes: the Mojave, the Chemehuevi, the Hopis, and the Navajos.
We have about 300,000 acres on the California side and the Arizona side. Colorado River splits the reservation.
It runs through our reservation, and it also runs through each tribal member. My name is Amelia Flores. I am a councilwoman for the Colorado River Indian Tribes in Parker, Arizona.
My name is Dennis Patch. I'm chairman of the Colorado River Indian Tribes.
The Crit Nation operates several different drinking water systems. These are primarily well-based groundwater systems. The regional wastewater system is a joint venture between the Crit Nation and the town of Parker. I'm Brian Bennon. I'm the director of the Tribal Water Department at the Intertribal Council of Arizona.
I feel a great sense of pride to see tribal members come up and learn the system, learn how to treat water and how to become an operator. My name is Curtis Martin II. I'm the enterprise manager for Brigadier Developments for the Colorado River Indian Tribes.
Water and wastewater operators have a very complex job. The Rural Community Development Grant Program, or RCD block grants, is really what helped create the ITCA Operator Certification Program and Technical Assistance and Training Program.
Actually, OSHA, this is a requirement.
Having that sustained source of funding, specifically to be community-based and for water and wastewater utilities, there isn't anything else like it.
ITCA has helped us start our water system, and they still do training for us. And it's been important to us because we're able to establish a whole water system on the reservation.
This water is something special to us. We got to take care of it.
I can tell you for certain that without the RCD grant funds, there would not be a tribal training and certification program that is uniquely meeting the tribe's needs for the sustained career development.
We're training our people, our future generations, so that they then can carry on this stewardship for the tribes, for the people, and for the land.
ITCA opens that door for the tribal members to come back and have that knowledge to how to run their system.
I think that always brings pride that you can handle it yourself.
It lies in our sovereignty, that we can take care of ourselves, we can take care of our people. That is the importance of our tribal members running our water department.
We're moving forward. We're not idly sitting by, we're actually taking control of what's rightfully ours. The water that comes from that earth to feed our crops, to feed the air, and to feed us. Water is our lifeblood.
The Rural Community Development Program is one of 6 programs within the Office of Community Services that is dedicated to reducing the causes and consequences of poverty, increasing opportunity and the economic security of individuals and families, and revitalizing communities. The Office of Community Services is located within the Administration for Children and Families within the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. RCD serves very small communities in sparsely populated rural areas made up predominantly of residents with low income who lack safe water and wastewater and often even indoor plumbing. For over 50 years, RCD has been filling gaps in ensuring safe water and wastewater services that are not addressed by other federal programs. Learn more at acf.hhs.gov/OCS. Produced in 2019 by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Okay, we're on to the next slide. Hey, Sharon, the video's over. We're on to the next slide. I think we may have lost Sharon. Can folks still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, it looks like Sharon might have dropped off.
That's what I'm seeing too.
Okay, so I can send her a quick note to have her join. Gerald, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you have our slide deck and want to kind of keep going, we can do that. I have it open as well if you want me to kind of take over while Sharon gets back on.
You're muted, Gerald, FYI.
Okay, I'll get right with you here. Let's see.
And I can share the presentation again if you like.
Okay, let me just get right down to it. Sorry about that. Just bear with me for a second. Okay, let me try to get where Sharon was.
Pete is sharing the presentation on the screen now. Gerald.
Okay.
The presentation's on the screen and we're at slide 10.
All right. Okay, so what is the Community Economic Development Program? Program. So the program aligns with economic mobility. The Community Economic Development Program is about strengthening both families and communities through investment of funding into support the creation and expansion of local businesses. We want to invest in all of our CEDs to grant recipients to allow them to invest in any kind of job, any kind of business that they can that's viable locally so that they can create jobs that will employ individuals with low income in a effort to grow local revenue and investment. So this is the only program that I am aware of that with a primary focus of job creation for individuals with low income in communities, in low income communities with high rates of unemployment and poverty. Some examples of projects funded by the CED program includes commercial kitchens, manufacturing businesses, shopping centers, grocery stores, distribution centers and restaurants, farmers markets, agricultural initiatives, and business incubators. Next slide, please. Let's see. So the CED program has had a strong impact in communities. It's in the communities that it supports. So between 2015 and 2020, projects that were closed reported creating or expanding over 2,100 businesses and creating over 9,000 new full-time, full-year jobs for people with low income. And in addition to these outcomes, the CED grant reported results of leveraging over $1 billion in additional monies by other private sources. And it's great to be able to tell Congress that we're leveraging so much money with these public dollars. So next slide, please. CED grantees often partner with other organizations such as community development, financial institutions, foundations, the gamut of other community investors. CED grant recipients such as the Midwest Minnesota Development Corporation, which is one of in my portfolio, just made such an investment in the retail center that's called the Red Lakes Reservation, Trading Post on the Red Lakes Reservation in northern Minnesota. And I understand that the chairperson for that organization has attended this conference. So I'm sure he's proud of this center, and we were involved in it, and we helped leverage the funding that brought it to reality. But that center now I think it's about 1 year in operation, and it features a grocery store, of course, and that which provides access to healthy and culturally diverse food, as well as bringing those jobs to the reservation. The shopping center also includes, I think it's a Subway restaurant, a laundromat, and a gas station. So please visit the link to this slide, which we have here. We can go ahead and play that link right now.
For years, Red Lake Nation has had discussions about the need for a new grocery store on the reservation. Now they not only have a grocery store, but a full shopping complex. Reporter Sherelle Moore has a look inside the new Red Lake Trading Post and tells us about everything it has to offer.
One thing any community needs is a full grocery store. Now, the Red Lake Trading Post is officially open and has a lot more to offer than just groceries.
It's finally had happened. In a year, 2-3 years, that's been, but actually it's been talked about for many years. But starting having a new retail center, and it's finally become a reality.
The Red Lake Trading Post is 3 times the size of the previous grocery store. The complex includes a laundromat, a gas station, and a convenience store that has extended hours for customers.
Our new bakery will be actually baking breads and stuff rather than just having commercial pre-made bakery and sweets. So we'll actually have choices like sourdough, wild rice bread, rye bread and stuff. We'll actually be slicing it, making it fresh daily. So that'll be a big plus.
The shelves you see here will not only be filled with regular brand names that you see in stores like Walmart and Target, but there will also be healthier food choices as well as cultural food choices.
You know, like our expanded healthcare section, we can provide more health aids, a greater selection of foods, a greater diversity of foods, you know, as far as having Asian and Hispanic foods, items like that. You know, hopefully we can do some more promos with our own items, like our own wild rice and our own fish from the fisheries.
The shopping complex is expected to bring 25 to 30 new jobs to the reservation, with the potential for more job opportunities down the line. A Subway will be opening at the complex after Labor Day, and managers are also looking at the possibility of providing a grocery delivery service for winter.
I was thinking the other day, I was in Walmart. All of us have had our issues when we shopped at Walmart, right? It's time that we keep the money here on the reservation. Not only because we're treated badly, but because these dollars that we're going to spend in this store create jobs for our people. It also creates better access to food. So,
reporting in Red Lake, Sherelle Moore, Lakeland News.
The shopping complex will officially open to customers this Saturday. They're also still accepting applications for various jobs. Those interested can apply inside the store.
If you enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please
next
consider
slide,
making
please.
a tax-deductible contribution.
As I mentioned,
For
there's
years,
still.
Red Lake Nation has had.
Okay, thank you. Great project. I'm very excited to see what they do going forward. But as I mentioned, it's one of we don't have as many as we'd like on in reservations or nearby that we can show you today. But we want to work on that, and that's one of the reasons why we're here. So, who's eligible to get these CD grant fundings? Get this funding. This funding has been around quite a while, over 50 years. A lot of people just don't know about it, but we want to engage you today and hopefully we'll get some applications. But who's eligible? There's 3 conditions built into the legislation. I think Congress wanted to make sure that the organizations were capable and had the capacity to do these kind of deals like we just saw. And but the organization, which is a community-based organization, is a private nonprofit organization, and tribes can create these organizations with a separate EIN number, and they just have to have articles of incorporation that demonstrate that they are a community development corporation, and which has a principal purpose of planning, developing, or managing low-income housing or community projects, such as the one we just saw. It requires the staffing and the capacity to do that. And they felt like community development corporations, they being Congress, felt like community development corporations were the best organizations to do that. So, but they also, these are, as I mentioned, they're community-driven organizations. They have boards of directors that are local, and they have representation from community leaders, community business leaders, and civic leaders. So that's what I mean by being locally driven. The people decide what works best in that particular community. So therefore, a tribe can, as I said, can operate or create a nonprofit CDC that meets the requirements to partner with any business to meet the requirements. They can invest in any business, as I mentioned, that can be thought about, that's viable. Next slide, please. So in FY 2022, we're planning to make public 2 funding opportunity announcements, hopefully in the next few weeks. So these will be offered to the public in early summer. The forecasted opportunity has been posted on grants.gov for both grant programs, and you can access both of them by searching the CFD number, which is 93-570. Both announcements require applicants to propose local business opportunities, as I mentioned, that they believe will be sustainable in communities, tribal communities that the businesses are willing to set aside up to 75% of the jobs for local constituents. So that's a real example of how we leverage at ACF jobs for our constituents that in need. So both announcements have basically the same requirements of 75% of the jobs have to be created for people with low income. And you'll notice that the 2 being one with a focus on energies. We're trying to help communities transfer away from, say, industries that may be phasing out. They could be coal, for example, that's an energy that's kind of going out of style because of its coal's effect on climate change. But then the traditional one, which has the greater amount of money, the $12 million, recipients can invest in any kind of business, not just focusing on energy, but any kind of business opportunity. These are 2 great programs, really flexible. I don't think there's any programs like them in the federal government that I'm aware of that has the flexibility to allow for the gamut of community investment. So the focus on energy notice of funding opportunity is again, as I mentioned, focusing on climate crisis at home, supporting and workers that revitalizing energy communities, laws that are of concern, situations that are concerned for lost employment because these industries are being phased out across the board. So I wanted to emphasize that. And as you see here, these are referred to as energy communities, where we see these industries. There's a shift in the community's desire to move away from that level, that kind of employment. Next slide, please. Okay, so both announcements, as I said, have the same funding levels of up to $800,000 per award and must not exceed that threshold. In design of using more than 25, they're designed to leverage about, for each job, about $25,000 that allows you to receive, recipients receive up to $800,000. So, but if there's construction involved, the ratio is $30,000 per job up to that $800,000 threshold. So all jobs must be created in the first 24 months of the 3-year project if there's no construction, or 36 months in the first 36 months if there is construction. So let me just go back, 30,000 per job if there's a construction, up to 800,000, and 25,000 per job if there is no construction. So that equates to about 30 jobs, 27 to 30 jobs, somewhere in that neighborhood. All right, next slide, please. In addition to sustainable businesses, there are 3 main things that each business must do. Let's recap those. I mentioned the 75% of jobs have to be filled by people with low income. jobs created through the CED program are intended to be high quality jobs. That's what we're trying to leverage, these good jobs that provide living wages, paid leave, fringe benefits, opportunities for career growth, and or predictable and flexible schedules. These are the kind of jobs that we would all want. The CED program is not just a job creation program. It also funds projects that address personal and community barriers to employment that must be overcome to help individuals become self-sufficient. CED recipients are required to connect employees to critical wraparound support services, which help remove barriers to employment and allow individuals to maintain long-term employment. These include financial literacy assistance, childcare services, transportation, substance abuse disorder treatment, and English language education. So all of these can be barriers, and we want to remove those. We want projects that can set aside some of the grant funds. Some of the $800,000 can go, for example, for let's say a subsidy for childcare or transportation vouchers. So these services help to remove the barriers to employment, and we want to help make our constituents maintain long-term employment, and so that they have a shot at achieving self-sufficiency. Next slide, please. Okay, so for FY22, a new bonus point is being offered through the Community Economic Development Project Notice of Funding Opportunity, or we refer to it as a NOFO. The purpose of this bonus points is to increase the number of Native American communities receiving grant awards. So hopefully those bonus points pushes your application to score enough points by virtue of its location in a Native American community to get an award. So we're just trying to increase the likelihood that recipient from these communities gets the grant award. So bonus points will be awarded to applicants that demonstrate that the project will support economic mobility in Native American communities. This includes Native tribes, which are federally and non-federally recognized, Native Alaskan Natives, Hawaiian Natives, and Native American Pacific Islanders. So, all right, so next slide. Sorry, let's see. Lastly, I wanted to mention that there are resources available to help prospective applicants on the CED website. These resources can help applicants learn about the CED program, eligibility requirements, ways to create successful job creation projects, and how to apply for the CED grant. Visit the link on our website to access these resources. And specifically, you'll see that developing a successful job creation toolkit that poses a series of questions about projects that will help any nonprofit organization think deeply about the elements required to design economic development projects that can successfully be implemented to create the full-time employment that we so desperately want in our neighborhoods and communities. So apply for the Apply for CED Grant webpage provides information on how to apply for a grant using grants.gov. That's where you will apply as an electronic submission. You won't do unless there's a very valid reason to submit a paper application. So you just get on grants.gov. It provides all that you'll need, all the forms you can access through grants.gov to submit an application. We understand that it takes quite a while to prepare an application, but you may not be ready this year, but your organization can certainly submit or begin planning to submit next year. We've been blessed, like I said, to make these awards for over 50 years. So we're hopeful and that this will continue because it is a real viable and valuable program. So visit the links on our website to see all of these resources. And once the announcement is published, we'll add a webinar that speaks to details about the announcement and the criteria. Next slide, please. So as a wrap up, I wanted you to think about how one or both of these programs could be used in your community economic development planning. If you have any questions, and I hope you do, about either program, feel free to reach out directly to us. We have a TA provider that can be reached at OCS Register at icf.com, and they will take a lot of your questions, and we try to make sure those questions get published on our website. So you can look for those Q&As that will help you find out more information, or if there's information in the notice of funding opportunity that may not be clear, you'll see maybe others had those same questions. So see where we are right now. I think we are about ready to turn this back over to the room monitor, who can, if you have any questions at all, as I said, I hope you do. I'm going to sit and try to answer them all in the time that we have left. So Whitney, did you want to explain to our participants how that works?
Sure. So you can ask a question by either raising your Zoom hand by selecting that at the bottom of your screen, or you can submit a question through the chat box and we can get to as many questions as we have today. So let me just take a quick look. There are no questions in the chat box right now, but let me just see if anyone has their hand up. And there are no questions right now, Gerald.
Well, well, I'm going to wait a little while. I know you got to have some questions, but I will just recap that this grant is one of the best grant programs out there for community economic development. I ran a community development corporation myself many years ago. Anytime you can bring community money to help problem solve, it's a really good thing. And we know that as Mr. Martin mentioned in the video, that everybody needs water. Water is everybody's lifeblood. I think that's the way he termed it, and he's right. You cannot do community economic development, and you can't live without water. So that's a great program. I hope you will look for partners and some of our grantees that you can talk to about any water projects that you think may be needed in your area. It's a great resource. Like I said,
Gerald, we did just get a question.
Okay, great, fantastic.
So the question is there a match requirement for CED?
No, there is not. The only reason that there would be a match is that you say that you need a match. If the project cost exceeds the maximum award of $800,000, and you need to leverage additional dollars, you need to evidence that additional money, resources, yet whatever they may be, in your grant application. So there is no match requirement. The grant can be as little as for, say, 5 jobs, which we want to make a minimum award of $100,000. So that means you would have to create a business that produces 5 jobs. It's quite an undertaking to have a business that is created and operates to the extent it creates 30 jobs. That's going to require a large payroll to pay all those folks. So just keep that in mind. But we want to invest in viable businesses, and it doesn't matter what it is, as long as the community believes it's needed and it will perform to create the income that's going to employ people and meet all of its other obligations for expenses, for covering expenses. Then by all means, make sure that you make an application. You can take I often tell callers that you could actually shop for good business plans in your community and say, I'm willing to invest in your business to the tune of $800,000 if we can get the level of employment that we need. So, I mean, you can shop around for good business plans that you may invest in. It's certainly up to the community leaders who form the CDC and operate and oversee the CDC, Community Development Corporation. I can't think of a franchise we have not invested in or any business type that we have not invested in over the last 50 years. So it's a great resource.
Thanks, Gerald. So we don't have any additional questions right now. While we're waiting for some other questions to come in, I can add a link to the chat box for the website, and you can visit the 2022 ACF IPC website to explore the virtual exhibitor hall to view the ACF grant recipients project throughout the United States and the Pacific Islands. So I just added that link to the chat box, and we encourage you to visit that. And I will also resend the survey link now that you can fill out after today's session.
Okay, well, if there are no other questions and you've now been given another way to make sure we are aware of any questions that you may think of after this is over, we certainly will love to hear from you. We are desperately looking for participation from tribal CDCs. And the invitation is out there. Now you know these funds are available. So we're sharing our fishing hole with you this afternoon. So, but anyway, thank you all for attending. It's been a pleasure on our part. We don't get to do this kind of outreach much, but hopefully we will do it again. So thank you very much, Sharon and Whitney, for helping us put this workshop on. And we look forward to working with you in any capacity in the future. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Sharon. Well done. I am just going to throw in a link to the closing ceremony, which happens here in about 25, 30 minutes. So I wanted to throw that into the chat as well. So it's easily accessible. If there's nothing else, I can go ahead and end the meeting for everyone. Hearing no objection, I will do that. Thanks, everyone. Good job, you guys. You are free to go. I see people are leaving the. Anything else that Gerald or Sharon or Whitney, any of you guys need? Is there somebody going to save the chat, or should I do that for you?
Yeah, I think you can go ahead and save the chat.
Yeah, there's only one question. So,
right.
And then I'll send the screenshots.
Perfect. All right, I have got the chat. And so thanks, you guys. We'll see you on closing ceremonies.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.